going to show you how you can create this exact same open world you see here using CityBLD. This will be a complete game environment and will generate it only with free content from WorldBuild and Epic. The result is actually going to be game ready and running at 60 frames a second before we do any optimization. First, I'll walk you through how to install CityBLD. You can go to the downloads page on our site to get the Launchpad app, which contains all our tools and kits. After we've signed into Launchpad, we just need to select our engine version, go to Tools, then CityBLD. For this tutorial, I'll just leave the installation path to the default and install it right into my engine plugins folder, so we can use it in all our projects. I'll do the same with our kits. For this example, I want to build something with the Modern Essentials kit. So I'll grab that and download it right to my engine plugins folder as well. Let's also grab the Storefronts kit and the Railways kit for a bit more content to work with. Finally, let's jump into Unreal and enable all these new plugins. The first thing we'll want to do is activate CityBLD. I'm going to copy my hardware ID over to the website and create a new seat with its own license file. This license file is what CityBLD will read to verify our license. Now that CityBLD is active, let's create a new level. I'll just use a simple non-world partition level for this tutorial so we can skip streaming setup. Later on, we can switch to world partition for a significant performance boost. Before we use the tools, we need to load in a kit. It's easiest to just have all the kits you plan to use loaded in right away. Keep in mind this might take a while the first time. With our kits loaded, the entire CityBLD interface is active. Let's go to the Roads tab and pick a preset from the kits we have. I'll start with this 2-lane preset and draw a few streets. This preset is from the Modern Essentials kit and gives us a photorealistic tree-lined street that we'll use throughout our city. We can draw new roads by clicking in the world wherever the brush is green. We can create intersections by clicking anywhere on another road when the brush turns yellow. The Modern Essentials road presets will generate pedestrian crossings by default, but this can be customized in the main CityKit blueprint if this isn't how you want your intersections to look. If you hold Control and scroll the mouse wheel while we draw, CityBLD will add barriers and supports to our roads to create bridges. I'm going to go ahead and select a couple different road presets and start drawing a small road network. Now that I've drawn a small area, I'm going to add a bit of variation by changing up the prop spawn settings on some of these roads. I've selected around 1/10 of the roads in our scene. Let's navigate to the prop scatter parameters and remove the trees. Street scatter contains an array of the props that are spawned along the road, like this lamp. Over in the Shapes tab, we'll go ahead and fill in the empty spaces within our roads. We'll do this using CityBLD Shapes, which are areas we can generate content such as buildings, gardens, parking lots, or anything else you set rules for. If we click on New Shape Auto, it'll show us a list of all the districts included in our kit. We'll get into what districts are a little bit later. When we hover over a closed road loop, we'll see it highlighted orange. If we click, this places a CityBLD shape inside our road network. We can then use the Generate button to generate content according to the settings in our district. In special cases where the end user will be seeing the city from above, we'll want to add extra detail, which will add rooftop props and other minor details to the buildings. Let's go ahead and fill in all the empty areas we have in our scene. All of these buildings are modular, so we can freely edit them using the context menu here. We can also hit spacebar to switch to the building editor tool. Keep in mind that this only works when we are in City Builder mode in Unreal. Our city is starting to look good, but it could use some more variation on the ground. This is where our storefronts kit comes in. We can select a building and hit More Options, Ground Floor, then choose one from the ground floor types included in our kit. Let's switch back over to the Roads tab and hit Modular Roads. This is the same as the Roads tool we looked at earlier, except this tool uses static geometry instead of dynamic geometry, making it perfect for highways with smooth merges, railway tracks, or any other complex type of road. We'll use this freeway to connect our city with the suburban areas we'll create later. In the Modern Essentials kit, you'll notice these highway connector presets. We can use these to connect our freeways with our normal city streets, since they match the shape and material. Now we need to create an off-ramp or an on-ramp to our highway. We'll select the 3-lane style we used earlier and select the off-ramp merge type. This lets us seamlessly draw a ramp from the freeway. We'll use this pink center guide to align our ramp with the highway connector we drew earlier. We have a harsh transition here, so let's curve the road to smooth it out a bit. You'll notice I left this area through the center of the city blank. I'm actually going to turn this area into a river by assigning a water material to our ground plane. You can get this same water material from the City Sample demo project. After I move the water down a bit, we see some gaps on the edges of our roads. We'll fix these using road modules, which are just spline actors we can snap to our roads. Let's switch over to the Road Modules tab here and select the Key module included in Modern Essentials. Now, when we click on any of the highlighted edges, we'll see a key snapped on. Let's convert these roads to bridges. We can do this by selecting the Bridge road modules, which only appear in areas that are elevated, and lower the threshold so that the entire road is treated as a bridge. I'll also add another point to give it some slope. Okay, let's switch over to the Buildings tab and add some landmarks using prefabs, which are pre-made assemblies that can interact with the surrounding roads and buildings. Here, I'm adding the Central Station prefab from the Railway Kit. It's a full railway station, complete with an interior. I'm using the mouse wheel to rotate the prefab, and then we'll just click in the world when we're done. This railway station actually connects seamlessly with the railway preset we can find on the Modular Roads tab. If we click on one of these blue dots, it'll snap the start of our tracks to that point. With all my prefabs in place, I'm going to go ahead and add a landscape so we can start drawing the surrounding areas. We can add more components as we expand outward. I'll be using content from the Eastern Suburbs and Little Havana kits for this area. These will give us some great suburban homes and streets to build with. There are two more hotkeys to keep in mind when drawing suburban streets. Shift will create a curved spline instead of a straight one, and then the middle mouse button will align the landscape to the road as we draw. The Eastern Suburbs kit prefabs can also align the landscape, which makes them perfect for adding homes to our hilly terrain. And with that, we have covered all the basics. From here, it's mostly going to be about adjusting the style to add detail and variety, set dressing the level, and optimizing when content gets loaded. If you've been following along, congratulations on building your first city. You can find a ton of resources to keep learning in the description below and on our channel. I'll see you next time.